Good morning, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I trust this video finds you well. I want to start by sending a big extra special welcome out to my Temple of Balance patrons for March, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Monday the 11th of March, and the time is 10:24 a.m. So I trust you're well and things are in good flow for you. If you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my combined Animal Kingdom Oracle cards with my Speed of Light Oracle. So these have been combined to make a 110 card deck. And I'll be using this combined deck to look for the best cards that the majority of us need for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I'll pull a theme card for those 3 days as well. So I'm not pulling cards for individuals. This is general guidance for everyone. So I trust that you've been led here for a reason, and I trust that something shared supports you. So I suggest that you take on board what feels right and what does resonate and what does fit into your life easily. The things that sort of feel like I'm speaking directly to you, take those things on board and let the rest go. Ultimately, just think of this as a guide and see where you want to take the information and how you want to let that guide you in your life. I'm sure you know what is best for you, and you know what's best to play with and potentially use in your life itself. So welcome. I don't know if I've got anyone watching because I can't see anything here. So it's a bit strange, but we will just keep going. Oh, I see Aletha is here. Welcome. So we've got at least one viewer, but it's not telling me today. So shock horror. Anyway, welcome everybody who's connecting. So let's start by looking for the best card for Monday, the 11th of March, 2024. And the best card for the majority of us is this. It's a Speed of Light Oracle card, and it's this. It's Expression, card 31. It doesn't come up very often, this card, so if you've not long been watching my videos, you may not have even seen this card before. It says communication, listen, share, deliver, and trust. So this is very much highlighting communication. It doesn't have to be verbal. It could be other forms of expression. It could be listening, for example, which is a really important component to communication. So there's something really highlighted here around the communication side, around expression itself for Monday. There might be an opportunity for us to clear the air, for example, or really figure out how we really feel about something that's going on in our life. You know, sometimes we might feel a bit unclear or a bit scattered or muddy about how we feel or what we think about something. So sometimes it is like a self-communication where we're sort of asking ourselves questions and listening for the answers, and getting that information can actually help us understand our stance on something or how we feel about something, and that can potentially help us understand more about what we need to do to potentially make some changes. So it can be self-communication. Are we listening to how we feel? Are we listening to the words that come out of our mouth and what we're thinking? Are we playing through various scenarios of whatever we've got going on so we can, you know, cross some things off because, yeah, we've thought that through, that doesn't really resonate, so we can cross that off the list, let's say, and we can start honing in and really refining on where we do want to put our attention, or where we do particularly, specifically want to go. So there could be communicating with others, but I feel like primarily this is an opportunity for us to clearly communicate with ourselves and really listen to what we want and what we're saying, what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're doing. Pay attention to that because it's valuable information. So we can trust in the information that we pick up through communicating, through listening, through speaking, through expressing ourselves. So basically expression is, it's energy moving. So energy wants to move. Emotions want to be in motion. So everything's moving, everything's changing. So expression is a part of getting the energy moving. And I find being a creative person, I find my creativity is also an expression. So to be creative is to express myself, it's to get the energy moving. So the energy from inside, moving it out or moving through something that we might be feeling or experiencing in life. So, you know, if you're feeling stuck or stagnant, it's kind of the complete opposite of this. So feeling stuck or stagnant probably means that we're avoiding something. We're not feeling our way through. We're not thinking things through. Potentially, we might be thinking in some sort of loop or holding ourselves perhaps stuck or stagnant in some area of our life. So if I feel stuck or stagnant, which is very uncomfortable for me being such a creative, expressive person and someone that's actually quite in the flow, to feel stuck or stagnant for a very short amount of time, and I'm talking about a few hours, is really uncomfortable for me. And I've got to look at, okay, what am I resisting here? Why am I keeping myself held down or held back instead of letting the energy move? So sometimes it's about not quite hitting the nail on the head with how I feel about something. So I might be feeling angry because whatever. So if I communicate to myself, I'm feeling angry right now, that tends to already get the energy moving. And so then it moves on to something else. So, you know, if you've been stuck or stagnant lately, it's probably a good thing to consider as well. What needs to be moving in your life? What are you avoiding? What have you been trying to run away from? Or what feeling or truth about your life or yourself have you been pretending doesn't exist? And how can you sort of weave your way back into that to get to know it and then keep the energy moving, keep it flowing. So that's for Monday. Hi, Alison, and good morning, Renee. Welcome. I trust you and your family are well. Okay, Tuesday the 12th of March. The best card for Tuesday the 12th of March for the majority of us is, well, let's go with this card. It's another Speed of Light. Hi, Kim. And it's this. It's the Abundance card. It's actually, I had a bit of a chuckle because this card reminds me of the expression card that I was just talking about, because this is card 30 and that one's card 31. So I drew them actually about the same time, because when I'm creating my decks, I tend to number the cards in order of their illustrations. So I drew this one, then I drew the expression card. So they kind of feel, you know, it was around the same sort of time period. So it's in 2011. Okay, card 30, Elementals. It says blessings, abundance, opening, and prayer. So this is the abundance card coming in for Tuesday. So abundance is being in good flow. So maybe something pops or something shifts, or we sort of break through, we move through some sort of barrier, some sort of stagnation that we may have been feeling, that we potentially move through that on Monday, especially if we let the energy move and we let things be expressed and communicated, and we listen and we're feeling and we're flowing as best as we can, and we recognize resistance or stagnation or feeling stuck, because something feels like it potentially frees up, and that's evident in this particular card. And this is flow. So this is lack. This is the absence of resistance and the absence of stagnation. So this is talking about abundance. Now, abundance to me comes in many forms. So there's like an umbrella of abundance, and we can see abundance playing out in our life as gifts we receive, or kindness that we receive. It could be extra money, or it could be a promotion in our workplace. It could be good health. It could be opportunities that are coming our way, and that can feel quite abundant to us as well, the potential of that opportunity. So abundance has been in good flow. You know, it's been open. We need to be open to be able to access the abundance that's available to us. If we're closed off and we're feeling very lacking, and we're feeling very low and closed and rigid about what we don't have, but what everyone else has. Why do they have this new thing? Why do they have this big fancy house? Why do they have this shiny new car when we have these derelict things, always struggling to keep a roof over our head? So that kind of attitude will close off that energy of abundance that we can potentially tap into. So we have to be really careful or aware of what we're telling ourselves and our attitude towards sort of abundance and what we observe in other people. And, you know, how happy are we for them genuinely? How happy are we for these people that have, say, bought the new car or have just gone on a holiday? Or are we feeling envious? And are we then comparing our lives to theirs and how we see and perceive their supposed life, which is probably nothing like we perceive or assume anyway. So we have to be really careful that we're not closing ourselves off to receiving the abundance that wants to flow in to our life because of those types of attitudes and thoughts and behaviours. So let's stay open. Let's know that let's recognise perhaps the abundance that is available to us now. What is working? What is feeling abundant to us? Maybe we are in good health and we can be grateful for that. Maybe we have recently received an opportunity that we can be grateful for. Maybe we do have a little bit of money in the bank that we can also be grateful for. Maybe we have a roof over our head and some food to eat in our pantry or in our fridge, and we can be grateful for that. So let's be grateful for the abundance and those things that we do have. And as we're grateful for those things, then that opens us up to receive more of those things as well. So you could try it and see if it works for you. If your attitude of lack and your attitude of envy hasn't been working for you and you're just getting bitter and you're feeling more and more resentful towards the people that do have what you perceive as everything and you perceive yourself as having nothing, and that attitude isn't working for you and you're becoming more and more bitter, then maybe think about shifting your attitude for a month or so and see if that changes things for you. And see if that opens you up to the good things that are occurring in your life and not what's missing, but what is actually there. So abundance is coming in for Tuesday, and the key to this is our openness to receiving and noticing and recognizing the abundance that's there. So I trust that supports you. Good morning. So we have, who else has popped in since my last shout out? Carolyn, welcome, and hi to Dad if you're watching with Carolyn. So welcome. Melissa, thank you, Melissa. And Jens is here, and Carol, Anita, and Cassandra's having a birthday on the 13th. Well, I'm about to focus on the 13th now. So happy rebirth day for the 13th, Cassandra. Louise is here, and August is here. Welcome. And Tammy is. But Tammy's obviously a new viewer because Tammy's asking for a card. And I don't pull cards here, Tammy. This is general guidance for everyone. So I trust that you receive the guidance that you need. I mean, I don't know how many people are watching right now, but if I wanted to pull cards for every single person, I'd be here all day long. So, oh, hi, Dad. I see Dad's there as well. And Tamara, I see Tamara's here too. So, okay, Wednesday the 13th of March. I'm looking for the best card that the majority of us need now, not individuals. So let's see which card we get. We're getting this one. It's an Animal Kingdom Oracle card now. And it's this. It's a featured timing card. And it's the solar cycle. It has further instructions here, which say to take the top card from the deck. So I go down to my deck. I've got the top card, which is a Speed of Light Oracle. Oh, we've got another featured card. This is one of my favourites. So here again, it has further instructions, which say to split the deck and take the top card. So we're going here to an Animal Kingdom, and we've got the Cockatoo. So we've got 3 cards for the 13th for Cassandra's birthday. So these 3 cards have come up together for a reason. We're going to look at them separately first, then we'll look at their relationship, see how this fits in for you. So card 52, Solar Cycle. This talks about a period of 24 hours, basically the cycle of the sun. So a period of 24 hours, so we're looking at a one-day period. It could also be taking taking the day as it comes. You know, sometimes we get too ahead of ourselves, or we pull ourselves and keep ourselves locked into the past, and we're not sort of making the most of our day. So that can also be connected with this card. It's also highlighting the energy of the sun, which is connected with our solar plexus chakra, which is our power center. So there's probably a surgence of confidence potentially, or courage that's coming up for Wednesday, a strength if you like. Now it comes up with the White Tiger card 48. It says schedule, routine, adjustment and management. Then this is about how we spend our time. This is about our routine, our priorities, and really considering on Wednesday, what are our priorities? Because once we work out what our priorities are, then we can sort of direct our life forward, direct our day forward. You know, our life consists of days. So that day, the next day, the next day, the next day, that ends up making up our life. So if we can be clear and I think be really clear about what our current priorities are, then that will help give us something to hone in on each day or each week or whatever wherever those priorities fit in our life. Now, sometimes, strangely enough, our priorities don't match what we're actually doing in our life, especially on that daily basis. So I find from time to time it's very helpful for me to make two lists. The first list is what I want my priorities to be. So what's the most important thing for me right now in my life? And then what's the second most important? What's the third most important? And I'll just keep going till I'm done. And it's usually maybe about 8 to 12 things on my priorities list. And then I want to look objectively at my life, like the actuality of it. What is taking up the most airtime, the most mental space right now in my life? What am I treating as the highest priorities, and the order of those by how my life is playing out? So I'll write down those in order as well. So what seems to be top priority in the actuality of my life, second, third, fourth, whatever it might be. And then I want to look at what and how that matches up, because sometimes what might be what I want as priority 5 might be priority 1. There may be good reason for that. It might just be something temporary at that time, or my priorities and my focus on my daily life is a bit out of whack. So I need to see those things and sort of knock things down the peg, knock things down a little bit down that list, and bring other things up, so that what I want my priorities to be matches with what my actual priorities are. Now, sometimes things happen in life and we have to drop our priorities and we've got something urgent to tend to, and that's an exception to the general guide, I think, at least for me, with my priorities. But maybe have a think about what your priorities are. If you have no idea, then maybe give it some thought, and maybe make some lists in your journal and get clear about what those things are, because that will make your life clearer. If you're clearer about what you want to spend your time doing, or what you need to spend your time doing, because what we want and what we need can be two different things, then that will give you some direction, some focus in life. Then you're not just wasting your days doing whatever is not priority, basically. And it comes up too with the cockatoo. The cockatoo card 47, be compromising. So this is finding a compromise on Wednesday. There might be something that perhaps needs our attention, that is taking us away from something that we really wanted to do on Wednesday, but maybe this is more important on that day. So we need to find that compromise perhaps to our schedule. Maybe there's a compromise that we need to reach with another person, sort of, so we can get on the same page. There is a communication element too with the cockatoo. They're very, very vocal. So there might be something that we need to set straight, or some words we need to say, or some air that needs to be cleared. And also the cockatoo is very social. So there might be a bit of a social element for some of us on Wednesday as well. So I've sort of been collating these cards as I've been talking about them. So basically it's going to be potentially an opportunity for us on Wednesday, that 24-hour-ish period, to really look at our priorities and our schedule and how we spend our time. And we might need to compromise that just temporarily while there's something else that potentially needs our attention. So there are our cards for Wednesday. See how that fits in for you. You won't know till you get to Wednesday, and hopefully by the time you get to Wednesday you can see how this fits in, and that will help build your trust in these types of videos that I bring forward. So thank you. I'm going to pull a theme card to go in just a moment, but before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment, please share if you're inspired to, and if you'd prefer to connect more privately, then please send us a message through our website. If you'd like to grab yourself a deck or two of my cards, the Speed of Light or the Animal Kingdom, or I've got other cards on my deck that I've made on my website that I've made as well, please visit templeofbalance.com.au to learn more about my cards or the work that I do here at Temple of Balance. Your support is really important and essential for me to be able to keep doing my work full time. So I thank you for your support, and I encourage you to consider supporting my work on my website. So thank you very much. So I'm looking now for the best theme card. The theme card will help bring these days together and help us see the bigger picture for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's the 11th, the 12th and the 13th of March 2024. So the best theme card for the majority of us is this. It's an Animal Kingdom Oracle, and we have the Shelter card, card 51. This is the only card in the deck, aside from the timing cards, that is not an animal. But I think of this as where the animals go to get protection or shelter, or to rest or to recover. So this is Seek Safe Shelter. So our theme is very much around our home, our shelter. It might not be a home for you at the moment. Maybe it's a room. It could be a vehicle. It could be a place in nature where you like to go, where you feel sort of safe and you feel protected. And perhaps in that place of shelter, whatever that might look like for you right now, that this is a time to rest and recover. Maybe a time to reflect and to reassess or assess our life, to consider what's led us to this point and where we are now and where we feel or where we would like to be going in the future. So there is potential here for quiet time, quiet internal time, you know, where we can reflect and ponder such things. Maybe we'd be looking at our blocks in abundance, why our life isn't where we hoped it would be at this stage of our life. Why is that? Is there something that we might need to consider or shift so that we can get more on track? Are there priorities and things that we're focusing on, our attention on, that are not really that important in the grand scheme of things? And maybe we're wasting a lot of time and energy thinking about these things and stressing about these things that are unnecessary. So it kind of feels like these next few days is time to regroup, a great time to sort of recenter, reassess, and to perhaps even recharge, and to figure out our next course, our next path, our next plan, and sort of move with that a little bit as well. And it brings highlight to the home or the shelter. So there might be something shifting, something changing, or something that needs our attention around the home. So there are our cards for the next couple of days. Thanks so much for connecting. Have a great few days, and I'll be back to share with you again very soon. Take care of yourself, and goodbye for now. Thank you.